Welcome to BTS Men's FFs. Disclaimer: this is a complete work of fan fiction. One was working in the kitchen in early morning, eager to make a nice meal for her master, who was also her secret boyfriend. A blush creeped her cheeks just thinking about him. What are you doing early in the morning, Gwen? She could startle as she looks behind and gives a sweet smile to Wantan. Because she got caught like a deer in spotlight, she have to maintain her posture and act normally. I was making breakfast for Master, she grins, and Aunt Han, who's head maid, look at clock and sighs. Okay, do it quickly, she nods. Other maids was also busy making different items indulge in their own tasks. Loud noise of utensils and other cooking items can be heard in kitchen. Clock ticked 7 in morning as one grabbed a black coffee and made her way towards Jungkook's room. Knowing very well he must be back after his workout. She knocks on his door as she waited silently for his response. Now who the is here early in the morning? He shouted, flinging her. One placed a hand on her racing heart. Oh God, he's in bad mood. She bit her lips, thinking what she could possibly do now. Go inside his room and try her luck or just leave silently. She was contemplating with the thoughts, but before she turns to leave, the room door swings open. As Jungkook's fierce eyes meet with hers for a brief moment, one blinks innocently as she lightly raised tray in her hand, indicating why she was there. But before she took a step to leave, he pulled her in his room by grabbing her arm, making her surprise. As he shut door behind and placed the tray on nightstand and looked towards her. The atmosphere was tense with silence and something else she wasn't able to acknowledge as she stared in his dark eyes, indicating his bad mood. She gulps a lump, not knowing what is going in that pretty head's office. She loves him without a heartbeat, but she also knows about his angracious and cold personality. I think you think we're baby. He cut her off, his voice called with a slight hint of fierceness. As he took a dangerous step towards her and a shiver ran down her spine, she groans slightly. I think I disturbed you in wrong time, and I should leave now, she murmurs while biting her lower lip. I took another dangerous step towards her, and she took a step backwards, making her back to touch with wall. That's very wrong, love. You can disturb me anytime you want. It's true, I'm not in good mood, he snuggled in her nape, one arm wrapped round her waist while other on wall behind. Now make me calm, love, he muttered, nudging his nose on her skin. She felt tingles in her body as she closed her eyes. But Jungkook, she placed her hand on his as she tried to push him away, but what? He looked towards her intensely. We can't. Before she speak anything, his in she gasps in his, but responded immediately, noticing she's pulled away but started giving neck and collarbone. Never push me away from you, baby. You understand? She nods while blushing. You know I can never harm you. She nods again. Of course, she nods. He creased her cheeks softly, his face still emotionless. Calm me when I told you, love. Don't push me away or leave me alone. I'll never do it again, nor things to leave you alone. Even if you're not in good mood. Promise. She grins and he turned her soft smile. Oh God, baby, I can happily in your arms. He muttered in her neck as she his arm. Don't you dare say it again, Mr. Mafia. He chuckles. Why? What do you mean by why? There's whole life ahead of us. And you're asking me why? He chuckled softly, making a smile appear on her lips as well as he slightly pulled away to see her. As you wish, ma'am. I'll never use this word again. Happy? Super happy. With that saying, she slightly tiptoed and his jaw as she opened the door and runs away giggling. Wait, you'll to tease? He follows her behind. No, get ready and came downstairs. I made breakfast for you. He smiles while shaking his head in disbelief while she runs away to other hallway. You will be of me someday, Wine, he grins. He is a mafia king while Wine worked in his mansion as a maid. 9 months ago, they meet for the first time, and their encounter was a proper college, like in movies. One bumped to him, making her to fall while he helped her. But as soon as he saw her, his heart beats, and it seems like a love at first sight. She was scared of him in her early days, and as much as she wants to avoid, he always found any random excuse to have her in front of him or in his room, and sooner her opinion towards him changed, and now they were secretly dating from last 5 months. One wasn't able to serve him breakfast because everyone in the family was at dinner table and someone else started serving him. Now she can't act like a jealous girlfriend and snatch tray from the maid. She says at least she was eating the breakfast she made for Jungkook. Jungkook turned around for her as soon as their eyes meet. He gave her a soft smile and blinked twice, saying food was good. She blushes. He moved his gaze immediately, maintaining his cold, motionless look again as he started eating silently. Before anyone noticed his action, one slightly chuckles on his act. She loves his sweet, soft side, which was only for her. It was evening time, and Wayne was cleaning his room. When some papers fell off from table, she collects them again, but something caught her eyes. As she opened his file and read his date of birth and looked towards his calendar, her eyes widened. His birthday was tomorrow. But why didn't mention it to her? Maybe he forgot. She smiles as she immediately completed her work and go back to her room. It was their first birthday together and she wants to do something special for him. Idea popped in her mind as she planned to give him a birthday surprise. She immediately made a list she needed to make a cake and some birthday decorations. As she went market and handpicked everything needed to make cake. 5 hours later and went have more than 6 cakes till then, but thankfully last one turns good. She was tired and exhausted at this point, but still happily decorated it. One looks at all the decorations she had done and then cake she made as a smile appeared her lips. There was only 5 minutes left in 12 a.m. and she wants to be the first person to wish him. She called him and he didn't her phone on second ring. Yes, love, are you alright? He asked worriedly as he looked towards clock indicating midnight. Where are you? Home, baby. What happened? You're fine, right? She smiles. I'm fine, Jungkook. Relax. He slightly lightly. Then what happened? Can you come to my room from Garden Way, please? He frowns on her words, but immediately got up. Okay, I'll be there in a minute. When turns off call as she looked towards everything with a smile. She has done the decorations in her room, and gladly her room was in front of pool, so she decorated it as well. She looked at Jungkook from far, who was looking towards the pool with a frown, as she ran there and placed a hand in front of his eyes. What are you doing, sweetheart? And Mr. Pool, he asked with a frown. Just trust me and keep moving. When also held his hand, he chuckles lightly. What's going in this pretty little brain of yours, princess? Let me see already. He tried to pull her hand, but she was persistent to not let him see till they reached in her room. Just few more seconds. As soon as they reached there, one pulled her hand away. Surprise! She chirped happily. Happy birthday, Jungkook, she muttered as he looked towards him to see his reaction, but his face remained blank. As he clenched his fist, his eyes turning dark and one's heart sank a little. A moment later, he looked at her, and she could see something in his eyes, perhaps anger or something she don't know. What happened? She muttered, her voice slightly shaky. Wasn't the birthday surprise supposed to be a happy thing? Is it not good enough? What's all of this? I don't like these kind of jokes when his tone was cold and rude, and when face pale, she blinked, trying to understand his words. I just wanted to surprise you. Her voice was soft as her lips suddenly feeling them dry. That's why I call you. It's your birthday, isn't it? He moved towards her. Who told you to do all this? Hmm? He barks, and she flinches, slightly off-guarded. To tell you to do this, he grabbed her arms harshly as she slightly winced in pain, his face only radiating anger and fury, totally opposite of the reaction she had imagined. Jungkook, you're hurting me. Her voice trembles, eyes slightly turning glossy. He seems completely different person to the one she knows. Don't do something like this again. I don't like such activities, he barks harshly as she closes her eyes while trembling. Jungkook, I just made a cake for you. Her voice stammers. Because she don't know what's wrong. He looked towards the cake as he picked it and threw it across the room. One heart drops without cake, her eyes stinging as the painful tears start leaving her eyes. You're just a maid, he growls. Live in your limits and don't cross your boundaries. Ever again. She felt as if he her heart out of her body by his hand. The pain was too immense and unbearable. The hopes, the dreams, the future she has built with him in her dream house, he grabbed all of them in his fist and crushed them, without even a single second thought. As he marched outside, leaving her broken, just like that cake on floor. She was beyond happy when she learned about his birthday. From decorations to cake, she had put her heart and soul in everything, while he crushed her hopes, everything in a blink. Tears were streaming down her face as she lay there on the floor, feeling utterly alone and hurt. All she wanted was to make him happy. Jung marched towards his room, still in fury. His body slightly trembles in anger because of the earlier incident, as he slightly shakes his head to let go of his thoughts and some more memories. He went towards Minnie in the room and started. He needs to let go of this pain. It was just too much for him to handle, and he wants to let go of this reality and what just happened by drowning himself. 2 hours later, and he was much calmer than before. Sitting on the floor, his mind went back to what happened earlier, and then once face came in his mind, and his heart clenched. Oh God, I didn't even realize when I lost my temper. He rubs a hand on his face. How could you, Jungkook? He immediately got up and slightly stumbled with the impact as he runs outside from towards the room. He opened the door silently, only to see her wrapped in a blanket, the decorations same as he left. His heart clenched to hear her tiny sobs, causing him more pain. He wants to reach out to pull her close and tell her how sorry he was, but he was terrified that he might end up hurting her more. Taking a deep breath, he stepped closer, hoping he could find the words, the strength to make things right. His gaze moved towards cake, piled up on floor as he felt more guilty. It looks beautifully decorated. I made a cake for you, Jungkook. The weight of her words stung him more as his heart sank. The guilt surged through him like a tidal wave. She had done everything to surprise him, to make him feel special, and what did he do? Crushed her happiness with his anger. She don't know about his past. Baby, he carefully pulled blanket to see her as a sob broke the silence. Like the sound of her crying so invulnerable make his heart itch. When he whispered, gently pushing her hair aside to see her face, she turned away, burying her face deeper in the pillow as another sob escaped her lips. Her shoulders shook with quiet sobs, and it him apart. He needed to make things right, but more than that, he needed to know that he was truly sorry and guilty for what happened earlier. When please look at me, baby, he called softly. I'm sorry, love. She didn't move, but sobs more, with hiccups. Baby, please don't cry, he sighs. Alice, look at me, he said more gently, a hint of desperation visible in his voice. He was emotionless person, and him showing these emotions were telling itself how much he meant for him. But she didn't move. He carefully pulled her closer to his as her face buried against his. But He could feel her sobs against him. After a few minutes, she looked up at him. Her gaze, full of hurt, made him realize just how deeply his actions had affected her. I'm sorry, baby. She gulped, but he held her more firmly. Leave me, Jungkook, she yelled, her eyes teary. His hand reached to her face as he gently wiped her teary cheeks. I'm sorry, love, I really am. I can explain my actions. She shook her head as no as she pushed him with full force and took further steps away from him. Stop calling me with all those names, Jen. Sorry, I forgot my place again, Master. Looked towards her with hurtful eyes. When? Don't say that. I was angry. I didn't mean it. You know I loves you. She was trembling as she shakes her head as no, taking more steps away from him. Don't say those words. You don't mean to, Master. I was blind in love. I know. Don't hurt me more than I already am. He desperately shakes his head as no. Don't talk like this, love. I came here to apologize, baby. I realized my actions. Let's talk. Please. He looks around. Let's eat the cake you prepared first. One laughs in a mocking way. Cake? Where is it? She looks around and finally found it where he threw it earlier. Do me 5 forwards to make a perfect cake for your Jungkook. She gave him a painful smile, her eyes shining with tears. I was not supposed to arrange a birthday surprise for you. I thought so highly of myself, forgetting my place in your house, Master. Her lips trembled. It was not my fault. I accept it. He desperately shakes his head as no, as she tried to approach her, but she took another step backwards, away from him, her limbs slightly trembling in fear and hurt. Don't say that, baby, please. I'm sorry, love, I really am. I know you're angry with me. I made a mistake. You can scold me, punish me, do whatever you want. Don't distance yourself from me. You want me to eat the cake? You mean it? He went towards the heap of cake on the floor as he sat and ate a spoonful from the side, which was not ruined. It was not about cake anymore, Master. Her voice was so painful. When don't please stop calling me that, love. When didn't even stir him, even for a second, as she went towards bedside table, opened first drawer and take out an envelope. What happened today? She shakes her head and gulps a lump, stopping her words in mid-sentence. As she gave him that envelope, he frowns but took it from her hand. But his eyes widened to see what was inside. Baby, his lips slightly trembled as he just stared her for a few happy moments. I never felt so humiliated in my life than today, Master. More tears all on her eyes. Probably those words coming from your lips made it more hurtful for me. He tried to reach her hand, but she took a step away from his reach. He stared her dumbfounded and helpless. I have a reason for my actions. I can explain, please. Give me a chance. And don't do this. Don't leave. Pointed towards the envelope and shake her head as no. I forgot for a while I'm just a maid, Master. Thanks to make me remember my place, I'll leave. Her face was motionless, but her eyes and works were speaking her heart aloud. Don't say it, baby, please. He gulps a lump. I have never celebrated my birthday before when. My mother, she passed away on the same day. He gave her a painful smile while her eyes widened. She have heard about his mother's when she was just 5 years old, but she didn't know about this critical information. I never discussed this topic before, he muttered after some heavy moments. Because it was my anguish, and I'm living with it from early age. My birthday, he chuckles. I didn't even remember today was my birthday. I have never celebrated after my mother. A tear slid down his eyes. I know I hurt you, and I am so shameful. Please forgive me. Just this once. I'll keep a hold on my anger. Please, baby, forgive me. A sob escaped from his chest and clenched her heart. I'm sorry to hear about your mother, Master. She stared him for a second and then moved her gaze away. But my decision is final. I don't want to work here anymore, and let's break up. His eyes widened. Man, please don't do this. I don't want to hurt you, but the words that came out were not what I intended. I was being. I know. Please give me a last chance. When I see cake and decorations, my mind went back to last time. It was the whirlwind of that day. The pain it brought, and how I wanted nothing more than to forget it. But instead I took it out on you, baby. I'm sorry, love. Stop apologizing, she sobs more with her cups. I'm not changing my mind. No, please, man, give me a chance, please. He was on his knees in front of her, and that was hurting her even more than before. I know I was angry, and that consumes me, and before I knew, I had said things and did what I never should have. I leave you standing there hurt and shattered. This was supposed to be a happy moment for both of us. I'm so shameful. Please forgive me. He was crying when brings back her tears as she sat down to his level and extended her hand, but stopped before it touched his face. He saw the hesitance on her face and it hurt him more, but before he held her hand, she pulled it away and stand up and move away from him. I'm also sorry, and I won't hurt you with your pastoral memories, but I can't take back my decision. I already made my mind and I'm quitting this job from tomorrow and let's end things between us. She wipes her eyes. When pleased, don't you know it was not intentional, even though what you did and said it was not intentional and you're guilty. But they have already done the damage, Jungkook. She was struggling to keep a hold on her emotions. I'm also sorry, but I can't pretend today's incident never happened and pretend I'm happy and everything is rainbow and sunshine. I'm sorry, I can't be and fit. You were a master. I crossed my boundary long time ago. No, please, though. It's not. You're not unfit. I loved you when I'm madly in love with you. Please don't leave me. It's reality, Jungkook. Your family will never accept me. She laughs. I crossed my boundary again. I don't think I'll go to that end. Anyways, master, he shakes his head. You don't trust me. His eyes were hurt. Let's get married. If that makes you believe me, he held her hand and but she pulled it away. I'm not marrying you, not today or tomorrow. Stop making me repeat the same things and make a fool of yourself. She almost shouted, and he looked towards her with hurtful eyes. I'm not lying, so am I. I'm not giving up on this easily, she laughs. There was nothing between us physical attraction, yes, but nothing more. Her words were hurting him more. He stared at her for happy moments. So you're leaving for real, she nods. Yes, and don't make me repeat those words again. He nods as he also got up from floor and moved towards door. He looked back towards her for a brief moment and then left. Gwen fell on floor as soon as he left and burst into tears. I'm also sorry, Jungkook. Thanks for watching, everyone.